Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2019 Year in Review Animation Film Lizard and Cat Awards Show. I don't remember how we talk about these.
Thank God it's over.
I'm Sean.
I'm Tennille.
And today we're going to be talking about all of the animated films that we saw this year in theaters. Obviously, we didn't see every single film that came out because there's a lot of foreign films that we didn't get the chance to see.
Mm-hmm.
So we're only going to talk about the ones that we specifically saw.
And have reviews up on the channel.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about which ones we thought were the best and the worst, and I have about 3 seconds of trivia. Mm-hmm. And then maybe we'll talk about some other stuff from just the general entire decade as a whole, because we are now in 2020, so it's been 10 years since 2010, and that's special to some people, I guess.
Yeah. So I just kind of want to start this off with, the first year we decided to do this, it turned out to be a really bad year for animation. Mm-hmm. And we decided to start doing this because the year before that
was amazing.
Had been so amazing. We had Zootopia, Moana, Trolls, and
there's at least one or two other films in there that
these
were great.
So good. There was just no, not Coco.
No, Coco.
Coco was a movie that we actually reviewed. But the year before we started reviewing films, it had been so good for animation. And then we had one of the worst years of animation.
Boss Baby, the Emoji Movie.
Yeah, for a considerable amount of time. Yeah. And then
last year was a mixed bag, but definitely had some really good stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then this year exists. I don't know, man. It's not great, but it's not horrible.
No, it's very just
most of it's middle of the line.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that 2019 was a very forgettable year for animation.
Indeed.
Whatever wins an Oscar, I'm not
I don't even care.
Yeah, I'm just sure, whatever, I guess.
Yeah. And of course, this is us giving our own awards with our own opinions. Mm-hmm. Your opinions may be different, and that's fine. But this is what we're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. And we don't care about all those big award shows because we like to think, we're going to say what we think is the best.
I mean, I wouldn't say I don't care. I just don't put a lot of stock or value in whatever the Oscars decide is the best animated mm-hmm. film because they don't really care
about animation at all.
Yeah.
Either way, let's start off with a list of all the films that we actually watched this year.
Uh-huh.
So, first up, we started with The Lego Movie 2, the second part. Then, How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. Wonder Park. Missing Link. Ugly Dolls. The Secret Life of Pets 2. Toy Story 4. The Lion King, 2019. The Angry Birds Movie 2. Abominable. The Addams Family. Arctic Dogs. Frozen 2. Klaus. The Playmobil Movie. And Spies in Disguise.
That's a lot of movies.
That was 16 films. Even if you don't include the two films that technically should be on that list, which is The Lion King and Klaus, because The Lion King is trying to play itself off as not animated, but it absolutely is.
Well,
and Klaus, it was not released to theaters except for one weekend in 3 specific cities. That's still 14 films.
Apparently, though, Lion King is being, going to these award shows as an animated film because, duh, of course it is.
It's an animated film.
Uh-huh. So, it's an animated film.
Mm-hmm. So, that is 16 total films. Tennille, mm-hmm. I have 3 categories for you.
Okay.
Sequels, pre-established IPs, and original ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how many of these films fit into each of those categories? Please note that if it's a sequel, it automatically does not go in the pre-established IP.
It just goes into sequel.
Yeah, it goes into sequel. Yeah. A pre-established IP would be if it is based off of something else beforehand.
Okay, well, we've got Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Lego Movie 2, Secret Life of Pets 2, and Angry Birds Movie 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Angry Birds the Movie 2. Just specifically what it's called. I think that's all the the sequels.
There are 6 sequels, yes.
That's crazy.
How many of these are pre-established IPs?
Okay, so Lion King.
Yes.
Obviously. Ugly Dolls.
Yep.
Playmobil.
Yep.
Addams Family.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yep, that's all I got.
Okay.
We got 4.
Yeah.
And so that leaves us with 6 movies that were new and original ideas. And that's, honestly, compared to a couple of the last years, that's pretty all right. I mean, that's still not great, but that does give us Spies in Disguise, Klaus, Arctic Dogs, Abominable,
Missing Link. And Klaus.
Wonder Park. I already said Klaus.
Oh, okay.
And Wonder Park, yeah. Most of those weren't good, but,
You know,
that's
at
this
this
whole
point,
year.
like, just put that in perspective. Like, not over half, but just about half of these movies were sequels. And then if you count them, like, already being from an established property, it's more than half.
It's 2/3.
Yeah.
It's 2/3 of the movies we saw were
Pre-established
ideas or concepts.
Oh my god. Like, it makes sense, duh, obviously. People want things they're familiar with, but still, just... Oh, there's so much garbage!
All right, so, instead of listing these movies in general, like, the worst to the best, you decided you're just going to do some basic categories to put them in, and so I've tried to follow up as well.
In years past, we've tried to list them in, like, which ones did we like the most? We did a whole list. Like,
worst to best, and, like, every movie went above or below something else.
I could not. Like, I cannot make a list of these films. Like, there are so many in the middle that I have no real, strong opinions on whether it's better or worse than another film.
Right around it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, like, if somebody put this on, I would watch it, and I would have all the same problems with it that I had before, and it would, I don't know. So, like, I can't put them in a, like, absolute, this is the list.
Speaking of which, my first category is the worst.
Yeah, my first category is movies I hated.
I have one.
I have one.
The Lion King.
The Lion King!
It's the worst movie.
It's
It has
bad!
no reason to exist. It's boring. It's ugly. It's awful. I hate it.
The changes they make just make the story worse.
It was a bad idea. It should have never been done.
Yeah.
And yes, I feel upset that the company that made the movie didn't get paid and therefore went bankrupt. That sucks. And that's just more corporate bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, they obviously did a lot of effort into it and should have been paid. But
Yeah.
that still doesn't stop the fact that the movie that they made was bad and I don't like it.
Well, it's not like they had any control over the movie being bad.
Exactly.
Like,
That was corporate.
yeah, it's like they're just doing their jobs. Oh, yeah, I don't want to... We ranted about The Lion King back in our review. If you want a good time just talking shit about The Lion King, you can go over there.
Yeah. All right, my next
The
category...
sooner I can forget about The Lion King 2019, the better.
My next category I called I Feel Nothing.
I call it movies I don't remember.
Well, that'll seem pretty similar. Do you want to go first this time?
Sure. So, in this category, I have Wonder Park, Ugly Dolls, The Secret Life of Pets 2, The Angry Birds the Movie 2, The Playmobil Movie, and Arctic Dogs.
I have Angry Birds 2 movie, Wonder Park, Ugly
Do you have everything that I have?
Wonder Park, Ugly Dolls, Playmobil, and The Secret Life of Pets 2. So that's 5 films?
Oh, I have 6. I think you don't have Arctic Dogs?
Nope, I don't have
This
Arctic
one?
Dogs in there.
Okay.
These are just generally movies that are like, these are bad, but like, they're bad because I don't remember anything about them. They're not like super offensive, but there are still bad things in it. It's just like, I don't remember these films and I don't like them.
They're just completely forgettable.
They just washed over me in like a numb wave.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, by the time we hit next year, and we start reviewing those movies, like, I won't remember any of these movies will have came out this last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like...
Ugly Dolls, what happened? I don't know. Something about the dolls being ugly, and there was a lot of songs, and they weren't actually ugly, and...
Something about Be Yourself, yada yada.
Really bad.
Yeah. Oh, now, my question is, why don't you have Arctic Dogs on this list?
Because I think it's actually relatively an okay film altogether, so, like, I put it higher on my list.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's fine, I guess.
Really?
I don't know, man. These movies are so close together that, yes, sure.
Like, compared to the Playmobil movie and Ugly Dogs, you thought Arctic Dogs was fine?
It was better, yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It at least had a cohesive plot.
I mean, so did these other films. They just weren't good.
Whatever. Let's move on, shall we?
Okay. Man.
What is your next category called?
Okay, this one's a bit lengthy, but it is movies that were fine, and I liked most of it, but I had enough problems with them that I don't love them. It's complicated.
Mine is called Fine, I Guess. Well, not really, but... And then it cuts off. And then I have one more category, and then I have the best. How many categories do you have after this?
I just have one other category after this.
So this is where all of your films went.
Yeah, this is where everything else except for my favorite movie of the year went.
Okay, I guess I'll let you know that the next category says, are these better than the last category? Who knows? I've kind of lost track at this point. But, so, like, I think these are better inherently than the ones in the first section, but I don't know.
Okay.
So, my Fine, I Guess movies are Missing Link, The Addams Family, and How to Train Your Dragon 3. They're fine, I guess, but not really, and I don't know how to feel about them.
Alright, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So, then what's in your other category?
These are the ones that I think are inherently better films than those, but still aren't great.
Mm-hmm.
Arctic Dogs, Toy Story 4.
Okay, no! Stop! Bullshit! Don't you even! How dare you! How dare you!
What?
Arctic Dogs does not deserve that. It does not deserve that high of praise. I'm calling you out right here, right now. Your opinion is invalid. Get off my show.
You don't think Arctic Dogs is better than Missing Link, Addams Family, and How to Train Your Dragon 3?
No! Are you crazy? Do you remember Arctic Dogs at all?
I remember enjoying it, but I think enjoying it because it was bad. It gave me feeling. Okay? I remember laughing at jokes in that movie. Okay? That's why it's so high on my list.
Okay, y'all are free to roast Sean in the comments. Like, Arctic Dogs has been one of the... Okay, obviously box office numbers don't really mean a whole lot. But it's one of the, like, worst performing movies of the decade. Maybe of animation to all time. Up until the Playmobil movie came out. Which is just sad. But, like, the animation was bad. The character designs weren't great. The story was not good.
You also have to remember that we slapped these lists together in like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, and I'm having a come to Jesus meeting with you right now about this, and I'm trying to change your mind.
And I'm sitting here playing the part of trying to defend my list. I honestly don't care, but it's fun to try to argue with you.
How dare you?
But yes, so yeah, Toy Story 4, Abominable, and Frozen 2 are probably better movies than The Missing Link, Addams Family, and How to Train Your Dragon 3. They're still not great, but like they're probably better inherently somehow. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
To Neil at the beginning of this review, I don't have any real strong thoughts about this. Sean puts Arctic Dogs above Missing Link and other better movies. Now hold on a goddamn minute.
Good things. What did you have in your list?
Toy Story 4, Frozen 2, How to Train Your Dragon 3, Lego Movie 2, Addams Family, Spies in Disguise, Abominable, and Missing Link. Like, all these films are fine.
Okay.
Whatever. I would say that out of these, I probably enjoyed Missing Link and Spies in Disguise the most. And then, as far as the sequels go, the sequels here in this category is what really gets me, because I think they're good movies, but I think they're poor sequels to their franchises. Especially when it comes to, like, Toy Story 4.
And
Toy
Frozen?
Story 4, I have a real
You have mixed
feelings about, because
inherently it's not a bad film.
yeah, like, I think it's a good movie.
But it's a horrible
think
betrayal to the other 3 movies that came before it.
Not a horrible betrayal, but it just puts all those other movies in such a different light, and it's not a good light. And I don't like how that makes me feel, you know?
Okay.
It makes it feel like... not like the first 3 movies don't matter, but, like, breaking up Woody and Buzz at the end of this series hurts a lot. I don't like it. It makes the other 3 movies and their friendship feel kind of hollow. I hate that, you know, now that they've kind of put a cap on all this, Buzz is left off on a really bad note. He's been like a joke character since
Movie 1?
Movie 1. And then for Woody to just, like, abandon his main philosophy that he's had throughout this whole series, it's like, I don't know. I don't like any of these conclusions. I could see why people would like this. You know, there is something to gain about, you know, stories that just show people changing and all that. I just don't like it here. I don't know. The more I think about Toy Story 4, the more I dislike it. And I don't know if that's just because at this point I've thought about it too much, and I just need to, like, not think about it for a while. But, like, Toy Story 4 really soured me. Frozen 2, I just think is a worse version of the original Frozen. And, like, it just doesn't add a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
How to Train Your Dragon 3 was fine. It's on par with the other How to Train Your Dragon movies, which, like, I don't care for the How to Train Your Dragon series all that much, so it doesn't mean a whole lot to me.
Yep.
And then Lego Movie 2 was, again, I feel just like a worse version of the first movie.
Yeah, that's fair. I actually have a top 3 then.
Okay.
I'm assuming you have just a top 1?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I could not pick anything but Klaus.
Yeah. All right, so my best 3.
Uh-huh.
I think in this order, for me personally, Spies in Disguise, the Lego Movie 2, and then Klaus. I still stand on the point that, yes, the Lego Movie 2 was kind of a mess, but you know what? I understood what they were going for intentionally or unintentionally with the storytelling aspect of it, and I thought it worked very well, and it still very close to home for me specifically,
right,
having grown up with Legos and a very similar situation. So it worked very well for me. I understand that the movie was not, how you say, very good.
But it hit a lot of chords for you.
Yeah, it hit a lot of chords for me specifically, which is why I think it's the second best movie of the year. Klaus obviously is the absolute best. And Spies in Disguise was just a lot more fun than I expected. And, like, I think overall is definitely a better movie than any of the other movies on that list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, Klaus.
Yeah,
Klaus. Klaus is the best movie. Go see it.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Turn
it's
on your
really
Netflix
good.
machine.
I mean, it's a little past time for it because, it's a Christmas movie. But hopefully you watched it during Christmas time. If not, you can still watch it because, it's... If a Christmas movie is good, you can watch it any time of the year.
Mm-hmm. If a Christmas movie is bad, you can never watch it. Ever.
Well, it's something that you would only watch at Christmas time.
Like I said, it's a bad movie.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, yeah, and I don't really have a whole lot to add because even with Klaus, there's things that I have problems with in Klaus, but it was so far and above the best movie of this year that, I don't really feel up to talking about its flaws just because I'm like, yeah, you know what? I needed that. I needed a movie that I just enjoyed, that it was beautiful to look at. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the story. It filled me with feelings, even if I have a few problems with it. I needed that this year. Thank you, Klaus. And I'm so excited to see what this studio does in the future.
Yeah. All right. Well, with this year out of the way, how about we look at all of the years?
Well, I actually
also... Or did you have some other stuff you want to talk about?
Yeah, I also, because it's kind of a downer to just, talk about these movies and be like, 2019 kind of sucked. Movies aren't the be-all and end-all of animation. And where I didn't necessarily find a whole lot of things I liked in the movies we watched, there were a lot of shows that we watched this year that just filled that hole in my heart.
Yeah.
BoJack Horseman, The Dragon Prince, Steven Universe, and recently we watched a couple of anime. We watched Beastars and
The Promised
Neverland, which were both really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I would definitely say these would be my top favorite shows of this last year.
Yes. I can't think of anything else that we watched this year.
Mm-hmm. But
TV show, or
TV show-wise. Yeah. But all these shows, would highly recommend them. Go check them out. Loved them.
There are a wide array of genres and maturity levels.
Yeah, so be aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
But now, I think we can talk about the decade. So from 2010 to now we are at 2020. Holy cow, animation has gone through some times.
Mm-hmm. So I actually looked at an online list of every single movie that came out over those years. I don't know how many, it had everything, so it also had
TV movies
and direct-to-video movies, but I just went through and I pulled out movies that I specifically had seen and thought were really good.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta remember, because we haven't gotten here in Animation Pilgrimage, there's still a crap ton of movies we haven't seen, especially foreign films.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a very good chance that there are other movies on that list that are also very good. We just haven't seen them yet. But these are some movies that we've seen that we really enjoyed over the past 10 years.
Mm-hmm. And it's a long list because, 10 years of movies, there's a lot of good stuff to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
In general, this decade has been a huge leap in animation. And I don't think that can be understated because, at the beginning of this decade, animation was in kind of a slump.
The 2010s were not...
started to
Well, yeah, what I'm saying is the 2000 to 2010 was not the greatest time for animation.
No. The switch to 3D was, it was rough, man. It was rough, and some studios were handling it really well, like DreamWorks and Pixar, and then other studios like Disney were not handling the transition well at all.
Mm-hmm.
And
TV animation was also really bad, and they tried switching to Flash animation, which
had
mixed results.
Yeah, it's been a wild time.
I guess that's a show that. Again, this isn't a show that started in this decade, but has finished in this decade, that was definitely very good, especially we enjoyed it for a very long time. My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that started right there in like 2009, 2010, something like that. And it only just finished up last year.
Yeah.
And like we haven't watched it for the past 5 years or so, but when we watched it, we enjoyed it.
Yeah, we were really big fans of it.
Because it came out in a time when we felt like there wasn't really a whole lot of good animated shows out there.
Korra came out this last decade.
Right around that same time.
Yeah, right around that same time.
And that's a mixed bag, but generally better than worse. Difficult to say.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about the movies.
Yes.
So, I have a feeling I pulled movies from our movie rack. I did not look at the list Sean looked at, so his list might be a little bit more thorough than mine, actually. So if I miss some that you have on yours, just let me know.
Okay.
I have Tangled, Kung Fu Panda 2, Winnie the Pooh, Paranorman, The Pirates, Band of Misfits, Frozen, Wolf Children, Wreck-It Ralph, The Wind Rises, Song of the Sea, Trolls, Your Name, Zootopia, Coco, The Breadwinner, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, there's some number in there, but you did them in a different order, which is weird to me. So, yes, I definitely have a couple other movies in there as well.
Okay.
I had Toy Story 3. Kung Fu Panda 2. I don't remember. Did you mention that one?
Yes.
Okay. Wolf Children.
I mentioned that one too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Paranorman.
Yeah.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Frozen. The Lego Movie.
Oh yeah, Lego Movie.
There. The Lego Movie, Zootopia, Your Name, Trolls, Breadwinner, Coco, Spider-Man, and Klaus.
Yeah, oh yeah, Klaus.
All that came out this year. You should add it in there as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, I think we came down on a lot of the same films in there. You
Definitely some, like, I love these movies. It would be very difficult for me to pick a favorite from these.
And you might say that some of those movies are done to death like Frozen, but you know what? Frozen is still a good movie.
It's got a banger soundtrack, man.
Some of it. Some of it.
Most of it.
And then there's the troll song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are a lot of very good movies. Again, we only have like Your Name and The Breadwinner on there that were not made in America.
Song of the Sea.
Oh, you had Song of the Sea too. Of course.
Yeah. I love that studio so much. I can't wait to talk about them. They should release. Well, we did. We talked about Breadwinner.
Briefly, yes.
Briefly.
God, that was such a good movie.
Uh-huh.
It is very different from all the other movies on that list, though.
I specifically looked up to see if Secret of the Kells was.
No, that came out too early.
It came out in 2009. Of course it did, because everything good came out in 2009.
Yeah. That was a good year for animation.
It was. Coraline, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Up, Secret of the Kells.
Others, probably.
Yeah, it was a good year for animation.
It was a good year for animation.
Did we mention Megamind? I feel like Megamind is on...
I think it did come out in that time. I didn't put it on my list.
Megamind is also good.
Okay.
It's been a good... Like, there's been some rough points, you know, obviously, like Emoji Movie and some other stinkers in there.
And things that people can't even remember.
I think, wasn't like Shrek 4 on that list, too?
Potentially? I don't know. I've never seen that movie.
I think... Oh, you haven't?
No, I stopped after 3 because it was terrible.
3 was so bad. I watched Shrek 4 out of curiosity.
Okay.
One time. It's not as bad as 3.
Well, I mean, that's what I've heard, but that still doesn't mean I want to watch it.
It's perfectly okay. But man, yeah. Whew.
This has been an interesting year. No, it hasn't.
It's been an interesting decade.
It's been an interesting decade. It's been a kind of lackluster year. I guess...
I'm hoping 2020 brings us some good stuff.
Yes.
Do we have a list of movies coming out in 2020?
Oh, you know what? I did at one point. I don't have it up. Hold on.
What do we have to look forward to?
Well, actually not a whole lot currently.
Okay, yeah, I remember we talked about this for a little bit.
There are only 9 films currently scheduled for this year to be released in America. Obviously, foreign films not included.
Mm-hmm.
Onward from Walt Disney Pixar.
Mm-hmm.
Trolls from Universal DreamWorks.
Looking forward to that one.
Yes. Scoob from Warner Bros.
Mixed feelings.
Mm-hmm. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run from Paramount Nickelodeon.
Okay.
Soul from Walt Disney Pixar. Not sure how to feel about that one. Minions: The Rise of Gru from Universal Illumination. Bob's Burgers the movie from 20th Century Fox.
Okay, I'm actually curious because I haven't watched any of Bob's Burgers, but I hear it's really good.
Yeah, so we might have to check that out sometime before July.
Yeah.
The Mitchells versus the Machines from Columbia Pictures Sony. I have no idea what that is, but it's something new.
Yeah.
Raya and the Last Dragon from Walt Disney.
Oh, yeah.
And
Seeing concept art for that. I'm excited.
We end the year with The Croods to Universal DreamWorks. Oh, boy.
Oh.
So,
there's got to be other movies coming out. We just don't know about them yet. Maybe.
yeah, Bob's Burgers. I don't remember that being on a different list I looked at. Okay, that's 10. That's 10 movies there.
So things are still getting added to this.
Mm-hmm. And again, within the first couple of months, we might find out about something else.
Movies could be delayed. More movies could be coming out. Who knows? But that is kind of a look ahead into this year. Overall, I don't have high expectations, but there are a few here that I'm looking forward to. Trolls 2 specifically, I'm really looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. Raya probably.
Raya, I'm looking forward to. It looks really pretty. And dragons, like, yay. We'll just have to wait and see with these other movies.
Well, we got a ways to wait because that first movie doesn't come out until March.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Why?
Where'd all the movies go? Anyway.
Netflix.
Oh, yeah. True. We might have to do more Netflix reviews if cool movies start showing up.
Well, I know Shaun the Sheep, which was supposed to come out last year, is getting
a Netflix release?
Netflix release for America. It got theatrically released elsewhere, but we might watch that.
Yeah, we should absolutely do that, because I actually haven't watched the first Shaun the Sheep movie.
Same.
So we should try and watch both of those. Anyway, I think that'll be it.
Yeah, so see you guys March?
Next year.
It is this year.
Yeah, I know.
See you guys later for more animated films.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.